Well, welcome to another show of Clifton Live here at Clifton Market. I'm broadcasting every day here when possible for 90 minutes with all news Clifton. We always have a seat here for you. I try to get some of the employees and customers to come in and get interviewed. And normally we go through the top stories in the news, and then we get to social media, and then we go to the street flyers, and we talk about the jobs done, the volunteer jobs, and I read the fall Chronicle, and then finally at the end we go through the old archival issue of the Clifton Chronicle, and this time we're going to be reading from 2005 summer issue of the Clifton Chronicle. So just a quick update on the market. We had a shareholders meeting on Monday, about a week and a half ago, and the market is running on a razor-thin edge. There's no question that we need to gather the community together to come and patronize the market, because in order to be a viable market, we have to have sales up to 160,000. And with that said, that will show the distributors and the lenders that we have the capability of having a community market, that we're a viable business. And that means going back to like when the grocery store was here in IGA and Keller's, when they were doing well, they were making 200,000 a week. Now I think everybody back then, they shopped IGA basically just for simple items, but then a lot of people did do a lot of shopping here to bring it up to 200,000. Now we're only looking for 160,000. As soon as we can get to 160,000, we're going to put a smile on Keith's face, and the employees, a lot of stress is going to be taken away from the employees. We're running on ether right now. There's no question about it, and we're trying to discover the puzzle of why, how to get the community to coalesce around Clifton Market. Our marketing plan is limited because we do have no capital for marketing, and we're using social media and individuals posting on social media, plus my daily broadcast. At the last shareholders meeting, we decided we would reach out to shareholders with a telephone survey, and that's in the works. But in the immediate sense, this live broadcast goes a long way to getting the word out on a daily basis. And you can tune in, and we're going to have all news Clifton, talk about the restaurants, the festivals, the events in the near region. So there's the short of it. We got. Let's talk about the things that are being done here at the market. Recently, Mark Irie has gotten the ID buttons. We were making the buttons down at the maker floor at the north annex of the downtown public library. It's a very simple process. Tanette, our HR person, prints out the sheets, and Mark goes over there and stamps them out, makes nice buttons like this with the employee's name on it. That's been done. We started a Google discussion group. If you're a shareholder, you go to Google Groups and search for Clifton Market, and you'll be asked to request to be a member, and then you'll be able to get quick access to everything about the Clifton Market behind the scenes, as far as spreadsheets and notes and PDFs of the recent meeting, and so that's one thing that Paul Karamaris, one of the new board members, started. Malcolm Montgomery is going to be working at the suggestion box, collecting the suggestions and contacting each one with an answer to their question. There's Brian Valerius, owner of Ace Hardware. And also Paul Karamaris is one of the new board members has taken over the IT on Clifton Market, and he's been able to get info at Clifton Market actually being addressed. So Paul is answering each email that's sent to info@cliftonmarket.com. So these are the things that are being done. Now, what can be done is, well, on a short note, I'd like to see the railings painted. It'd be nice if we could just get like a bright orange to paint the railing. There's also a grandfathered in signpost in the southeast corner of the parking lot that needs to be painted. We're going to get a sign for that. I'm looking for someone to organize the art shows. Amy asked about that, so I hope that she can take over being a curator. It'd be nice to have art shows. We started off with monthly shows, but I'm encouraging to go with 3-month shows because it's easier on the curator and it's easier on the artist. And the big news is something that Keith started. Things to do is you can buy gift cards. Now, if you buy $500, you get $525, and you come in here and ask one of the cashiers, and they'll give you 2 gift cards. One will be at $250, and the other one will be $275. So that's immediately something you can do. You're going to spend groceries here anyway. Might as well get the $525 gift card and support the market. The GoFundMe page is at 4,150. Was started by Keith and Barb Hevel, our IT person. Barb does the flyers, posts on Instagram, posts it on Facebook, and takes care of the website. Recently, she updated the deli page. The GoFundMe site's goal is the $300,000 of operating capital that we never gave the market when they opened. A store this size needs operating capital, a large amount. The typical amount would be $400,000. It allows the shelves to be stocked, downturns in market to be changed, but we can only do this if we get our sales to 160,000. So first, we get the sales to 160,000, which means we're going to see a lot more people in the store, gathering around, showing that the community can come together and support the store. We've delivered a great community store, and now we need the community to come forward and patronize it. And with the GoFundMe page, there's a lot of great perks. If you give $50, $75, $100, and the top number is $125, and this is a donation of $125. You get free pizza. You get $5 off a $25 order. You get 10% off your grocery order. So if you come in and spend $250, you're going to save $25. So for a $125 donation, you're actually donating $100. And then you also get a free Clifton Market coffee mug and free coffee for a year. So that's the top prize for $125. Of course, we're looking forward to 300 people donating $1,000 to get that $100,000 on the GoFundMe page. We're reading about what you can do for Clifton Market, the things you can do. You can also buy shares and make loans. Now, a share is $200, and you get a card and you flash it every time you shop here, and they keep track of your sales, and we get to have a little more of analytical data of what's going on with the shareholders. Occasionally, Keith will give you 10% off. He did that earlier this year. Currently, there's no tangible perks except you're supporting the market with your $200. It's a great show of trust in your community. And also, you can make loans. Loans start at $1,000, and you get to pick your percentage rate, and you get to pick the number of years the loan is viable. You can always find the literature for making a share or a loan right in the cart foyer, right by the place where you pick up the wipe to wipe your cart handle. I talked about painting the railings. Well, down there in the old grandfathered-in signpost, it's in a nice little area. We need some flowers put in there, and the hedges trimmed up a little bit. That'd be something to do. We need a parking lot sign for this grandfathered in signpost. It's a typically a hanging, flapping sign. I can work on that slowly. There's another thing that I want to make mention of, is because we want to get a LED, we want to get a laser show projected onto the back of the building. And Dave Taylor of Gaslight Properties has gladly offered his office, so we can stage the laser show from his office where it's warm and use his electricity and project a huge gobo on the back of the building. So we're working on that. Maybe it's more of a process of cannibalizing a couple of the cheap laser shows and getting a gobo, but we're working on that, and you can certainly pick up the ball on that. We need people to call shareholder owners. We're getting together a database right now of share owners who need to be reached out and try to solicit what's up with the market, encourage them to put their issues aside. We have a wonderful market. You come in here, you can easily put on a wonderful meal for your family. If this was the only grocery store within 500 miles, people would be ecstatic. So we have to realize that there's a lot of opportunities to shop, but here we have to learn to adapt. Adapting to what the store has to offer, which is a great produce, great fish department, cut meat department. That's what we need to take advantage of, and during these difficult startup periods. I'm trying to get new temporary window signs put up where we have on the street level, so they'll be doing that soon. I also worked on the deli menu. I created a single sheet for the deli menu, and this is the job for an advertiser or an ad man to keep that abreast, make it timely, make sure the figures are correct. And I post them on the plaza, and I also post them on the Telford, and you can pick them up at the deli or on the sushi department. So basically that's a job for somebody to keep in touch. You got to remember that we're running on a razor thin edge here, and the staff is doing the best they can, but they've got just a base level staff, and it's a project like that to make them keep an up-to-date flyer for the deli is so important to people. Also, that we have a wonderful colored booklet about catering, but we need somebody to produce a single sheet, 2 sides, of everything catering, so that we have the booklet doesn't have prices. It shows what we offer, but we need that single sheet. This is a great job for an advertiser to put together. We'd like someone to help train employees. The important thing is that the staff know how to make those gift cards for $525. So when you get a gift card for $500, you get $525 on your cards. But we need the staff to make sure that they know how to make that card, and also we need the clerks to know how to take it to sell a share, and also the process of making a loan. So those things are important for the staff to know, and we need someone who can be an expert in those things, know how to troubleshoot that, and occasionally come in and quiz the staff and help them on any questions they have about doing these important things. I'm working on a new set of yard signs. I'm going to silk screen the next ones. I think they'll be a lot more permanent. They're going to be single, black and white. So I've got a screen. I'm working on the design. We'd like somebody to volunteer to develop programs and meetings here in the cafe. It's a great space, and it's a great way to bring in the community to take advantage of it for their meeting or a program, maybe some children's activities. Just like the art show, we're trying to get someone to take over the art show. Another great project is to work with the senior centers around here to get the bus that they take the seniors to grocery store to make sure that the bus comes here, make sure that the seniors know that they can shop online, and then they can come here on the bus and pick up the groceries and then shop on the Ludlow, because the groceries will all be ready. It's a great way to get the seniors involved, and they can shop online and get their order all ready. So then one of the last things you can do, if there's nothing else suit your fancy, you can come here and sweep the floor. There's always a dust broom and a dustpan here, and you can go around and keep the place a little spiffy. Also, you can make some changes on fixing up the spots in the parking lot. There's places that need some asphalt put in it, so forth. All these are things that you can possibly do. Now, as far as possible changes in the market to make it more viable, we could change the hours. Sometimes maybe we don't need to be open at 7 in the morning. There's a lot of space downstairs that we can rent out. There's a great loading dock, so we have at least 2 large rooms that can be completely taken over by a company. We could start selling lottery tickets. That's a good use of the money making, and we could have a high-end cigar section. I think that would be very popular. Come in here and be able to spend $15 on a really fantastic cigar. We could rent out this cafe space to Starbucks and allow them to run it. So that would certainly bring in a lot of people. We could sell the building. That's something that we could do. And we can also institute something I heard about a restaurant the other day, that they have pay what you can. So people are always, some people need help, and it would be a novel idea to try and get something like that to go. So that's what you can do. We're going to go straight into news now. I always like to start the news off with what's showing at the Esquire Theater. It goes till Thursday, August 30th, so today's the last day, and they have changed the marquee. So I do not have the right movies. I'm going to have to remember that. They're really on the ball. So that's another piece of news was put out on NextDoor, I believe, about Blink Clifton style. It's a funny story. It says, "Don't miss the newest art installation by legendary local Sean Mullaney. He has coordinated the lights along Clifton Avenue near Lafayette to sync with the who's who. Don't get fooled again. His craft has no bounds, and Lord knows he doesn't. In the works is his over-the-top plan to sync the lights on I-75 from here to Florida to something from Gaga." So check that on. You can go to YouTube and search Blink Clifton style, and you'll get Sean's video right up there. So here it is, Thursday, August 30th. I don't have any events today, but Friday, tomorrow, is Clifton Plaza's music is Ma Crow and Company. You'll be able to order drinks and order food from Lydia's on Ludlow. On Saturday, September 1st, the Marsh Brothers are playing on the plaza. And also on Saturday, the FC Cincinnati plays Pittsburgh Riverhounds at Nippert Stadium, and that's at 7:30 p.m. And Sunday at 7 a.m. at the Trailside Nature Center is a nature walk put on by Preserve Burnet Woods. It's an organization that was recently started to work with helping Burnet Woods. There's a lot of things that you can do, from eradicating invasive plants to signage or fixing the trails, but the nature walk is an excellent example of this group coming together to help get the word out about Burnet Woods. You can go there at 7. You'll have a master, a guide, and I can't stress how important it is to go through the woods with a guide, because you'll learn so much more. You can hear the bird songs. You'll know what birds they are. He knows where the nests are. He knows where to look. So that's Sunday at 7 a.m. And then Lydia's has jazz from 11 to 2 on Sunday. Next week, I'm sorry, I had that wrong. Rumors, a Fleetwood Mac tribute band is playing at Ludlow Garage this Friday. Show time is at 8:30. Doors open at 7. Tickets are $20 to $35. Next week also we have the Cans Ice Cream Social. It's going to be at the Rawson Woods farmhouse right next door to Clifton School. I was just up there the other day. They've taken the flags down of the CCAC on the front of the building, so that effectively means that the building is now being transferred over to Cincinnati Public Schools. So on Saturday, September 8th, from 12 to 2, there'll be an ice cream social. You don't have to be interested in cans or the school or anything to enjoy. Bring your children. It's going to be a wonderful event. Monday, September 10th, is a CTM board meeting at the Clifton Rec Center. It starts at 7 p.m. Tuesday, September 11th, is the first meeting of the Clifton Mothers Study Group. They meet every month. They don't meet during the summer, but the first meeting is always at September, and it's always in a private home. So you can go to the online Chronicle and get the contact information on the last few pages about how to find out the location and be a part of the Clifton Mothers Study Group. It's been around since, I think, 1938. The first speaker is going to be Sherry Hazy with the League of Women Voters. Sherry will discuss the role and history of women in politics, including an overview of local political organizations and their role in our community. We look forward to her inspiring and empowering our group ahead of November's election. I'll later see. I think I could probably just pull that up and give you the information if you want to attend that event. I'll go to the online Chronicle. I realize now that the Lohre is the president of the Clifton Mother Study Group, and you can contact her at cliftonmoms@gmail.com. That's cliftonmoms@gmail.com. The past president was Mindy Rich, so I'm sure that you can contact her at cliftonmoms@gmail.com. They're going to meet September 11th at a private home in Clifton. Let's go on to other news. The Golden Ticket is back, and this time it has a new venue and a twist because the Art Center has gone away. And the show is going to be at the Trailside Nature Center. The deadline for the Golden Ticket, early bird, is September 8th. And also, there's a show, it's a community show, whereas the Golden Ticket show, it's juried in, and it's a very tough jury, but they're always excellent jurors. But the community show is also coming up, and that's going to be in the Avondale Business Center, and the deadline for that is September 6th. So go to cliftoncommunity.org and go to news, and no, I'm sorry. You would go to the cliftonculturalarts.org and go to the page about events, and you can learn how to sign up. So September 6th is the deadline for the community show, and September 8th is the deadline, early bird special, for the Golden Ticket show. Let's go on to market specials. probably the biggest market special is Keith's offer of $25 when you buy a $500 gift certificate. You come in here and ask one of the cashiers, and they're going to make you two cards. One's going to have $2.50 on it. The other one's going to have $2.75. So for you buy groceries here all the time, there's a great way to save $25 right off the top. That's the biggest special. We got a new flyer out soon. I'm going to be talking about that. But we also have new orange shopping bags. They're very perfect color for the market. And if you didn't know, you can drop your dry cleaning off here, pick it up next time you shop. We have beer and wine tastings occasionally, and special events. Recently we had the Tiger Lilies play in the back parking lot on the loading dock, and it was fantastic. We had about 80 people show up, and it looks like events like that are going to be happening more and more in the future. And I did learn that you have to have somebody in the front of the parking lot to make sure that people understand that you can't go around and sort of sit there and manage the parking places and make sure that people don't get thrown off by having live music on the loading dock. You can go to a YouTube site and see a video of one of the songs. Online shopping is web page is active now. You can go on cliftonmarket.com, go to online shopping. We owe this to TriHealth. They set it up, the online shopping, so that their employees can get free delivery of groceries. If you just want to go online and shop, and your groceries will be ready for you to pick up. It's a $2 fee. You can pick them up on the curbside. It's down below. There's a designated parking spot for the curbside pickup. And due to the Good Sam and TriHealth putting together the online shopping, delivery to the Good Sam Hospital by Clifton Market is from Sunday 11 to 8 p.m. It's free. Delivery is free for Good Sam employees and patients. Orders are delivered to the concierge desk, and also delivery to Bethesda Oak Hospital by Clifton Market. So TriHealth is paying for the delivery. All the employees of TriHealth at Good Sam and Bethesda Oak Hospital, it's free delivery for patients and employees. Normally you would pay $10 fee for delivery within 5 miles from Clifton Market. So a lot of people use this site by going online, ordering the groceries, and once they get it, usually the order is about $125. For $10, they get free. They get delivery. So that's about all I have that here. I did notice that on the Clifton Town Meeting website, cliftoncommunity.org, you can go to cliftoncommunity.org, click on menu, let's go to Chronicle Clifton Living, see what they have. I noticed the other day there's a number of links on the, when you go to cliftoncommunity.org, you can get all the news. There's great stories about the Deer Project, the golf outing, the House Street development, the house tour. They give pictures of all the houses and the same stories that were in the booklet, so you can have a little mini house tour. Let's go to the menu. Let's go to community. There's one of these links goes immediately to the businesses, and it's an incredible resource. If you've ever been able, it lists all the schools, of which it looks like there's about 20. Listed all the houses of worship. There's also about 15. It lists all the businesses, and each one that is is an Italian, they have a link to it. So you got the websites of every business in Clifton region. They include Desmesh. Going Postal is on Jefferson. It's technically not in Clifton, but we're happy to include it. Gaslight Gourmet Cookies, Gaslight Creations, you might remember, was a brief place where you could paint, had a camaraderie group painting project. Gaslight Creations. Thanks very much for Kevin Marsh for keeping this site, the whole site, up to snuff. It's amazing what he's done. We got Hansa Guild's got a website, Habanero, Howell Pet Hospital, It's Yoga, Jay Gumbo's, Dajib's Indian Grocery. We have Charles Judd, Dentist, Kilimanjaro, Lintz and Company, all have websites on the link on cliftoncommunity.org. You go to a menu, and then you go to, let's see, what is the, you go to Community. So it lists all the shops of Ludlow. Maya's having a sale right now at 40% off. We got Barbara McManus, JD, Midwest News Media, Midwest Tent, Mind the Gap Wellness Center, Dennis Murphy, Dentist, Pangea, Parkway Auto Wash has a link here. It's recently been changed to AAA car wash, so I guess the family of the Parkway have retired. It was a great place, and I'm sure it's just as good now. We got Personalities by Leona, Petey's Pet Shop. If you might remember, the old Hal Veterinarian Clinic is moved next door, and Petey's Pet Shop took over that space. We even have the Pit Stop Lounge. You might know it's part of a hotel on Central Parkway. They have a phone number. Postmark is now changed to. It is Postmark now. Well, let's go to Postmark and see what that link is. A new American restaurant. This was started by Shirley Bernstein's grandson. Shirley Bernstein was the matriarch of El Greco's in Newport, and also Mike Fink's restaurant. It says Postmark is a new American restaurant. This farmhouse refined concept champions slow food, showcasing the best farm goods, old world ingredients, and artful products, working directly with merchants, farmers, and importers to preserve an epic tradition of good practices and thoughtfulness. Great food and drink, honestly prepared and served, enjoying the benefits of a thrift approach, unafraid of hard work, is the farmhouse refined. The setting is repurposed, reused, and upscale, worn and weathered, cozy and comfortable, yet rustic and rugged, filled with old world charm and nostalgia. Fine dining meets farmhouse style. The postal theme is portrayed by post office antiques, prints, and decor throughout the dining room. A semi-private dining room that can accommodate groups of up to 30 guests overlooks the curated 2,000 bottle wine room. So we'll go straight to the menu. They have Brussels sprouts, broccoli and pig's ears with pimento, hot onion, honey, and ranch, French onion soup, bone marrow broth, garlic baguette, and Gruyere cheese, steak tartare, quail egg, tapenade, Dijon mustard, and Parker house roll. These are the appetizers. Mushroom soup, truffle caviar, potato chip chive. The second course, we have a Calabrian chili, black garlic auli, sweet potato, mulled and cranberry and spiced pecans with sage cream. We have a chestnut ganache with gorgonzola cream, a graham cracker and oat crumble, risotto Milanese with saffron, and 2 cheeses. And the first course, we have duck prosciutto, root vegetables, bistro salad, and goat cheese brulee. And third, they're listing it as the third, I guess it's the third course, we have trout, beet, fennel, sweet potato, tarragon, citrus. The blanc de veau, I believe that's veal. Celery, trumpets, and fingerlings. We have a salmon, sunchoke, watercress, a Yukon puree, and a balsamic dressing. We have the filet Oscar with béarnaise, king crab, broccoli, potato pod, and Hill family chicken with vermouth, glacé, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, and grits. Sunday brunches from 11 to 2 p.m. with cheese blintzes at 11, pastrami salmon at 14, lemon ricotta pancakes at 14, avocado toast at 12, French toast at 12, asparagus at 11, eggs Benedict at 12, rip ricotta, corned beef hash at 14, BLT with candied bacon, leek fondue, roasted tomatoes, and Saratoga chips for 15. Ham and cheese at 11, a French roll omelet, and a corned beef Reuben sandwich for 14. So these are all the things you can pick up at Postal. Thank you very much for that. I was pulling that right up off of CliftonCommunity.org. You go to menu, go to community, and they list every school, church, and restaurant. And so we're nice enough to go to Postmark and read the menu. And then we have a Rest Inn hotel on Central Parkway is listed. Richie's Restaurant is listed on Wolper. A friend of recently, a Cliftonite, ordered their whole food from Richie's. It was a rather substantial catering order, and they did a wonderful job supplying food for a large party. Semesters, if you might know, on Clifton here, it has everything for the sorority, bling for UC students, anything considering the university, paddles, scarves, hats, you name it, mugs, they have it there at Semesters. Skyline Chili has recently been doing some promotion to get people to have a party at Skyline. So I'm hoping that means that they've opened up the second floor and they have a wonderful view of the fountain and the main street, and you can have a wonderful party on Skyline. I don't know. Normally we have the party at Skyline. We have it in the back. We have attorney at law. If I can pronounce this right. Dutta Shumyati has a law office on Jefferson. Terry Studios is on Central Parkway. Clifton House is our local bed and breakfast nearby. Also, Scott Crawford has a bed and breakfast on Middleton. A Whole Bowl is our avocado and rice window kiosk right next to the new Clifton Post Office. Toka Baru, I think, is closed. That was the kids' store. Maybe not. It mentions United Dairy Farmers, World Peace Yoga. We have United Fidelity Bank. They were one of the sponsors of the Clifton Golf outing. University Nail, U.S. Bank, Whitmer's Dry Cleaning, and Wonderland Smoke Shop has opened up in the old bead store right across the street from Clifton Market, and they have a sign there, cigars, so you can pick up a nice cigar there. So that's the end of that page. It's a wonderful resource. Let's see. Let's go to World Peace Yoga. I think her name is Andrea, has become the secretary of the Clifton Business and Professional Association, and she's really done a fantastic job in getting the word out. So if you sign up, she'll send you an email of the minutes of the meeting. The minutes are every third Monday at 3 o'clock at the basement at U.S. Bank. and everybody's welcome. And she is a big part of World Yoga. You go to their website, they have a lot of pictures, taglines, talks about our teachers. It's made up for. Let's go to events and see what they have the list on events. Certainly this web page was made for a cell phone. Here's the calendar. I think it has a wonderful picture of Andrea right on the front of that. Well, let's just go to the first thing on the calendar. Heart Home Calendar Crowdfund Blog. World Peace Yoga. Let's see what's weekly schedule, classes, prices, events. Peace House Grill. It's a menu and hours and events. We have Heart Books, Sustainable Publishing, World Peace Diet Cookbook, Heart Montessori. Why Heart Montessori? Heart Learning Enrollment Summer Camp. I think we have an ad in this issue of the Clifton Chronicle about the Heart Montessori. I'll be reading that. And we have the World Peace Market. Stay tuned. Jubilee Animal Sanctuary, the story, meet our friends, volunteer, donate, and Cincy Veg Fest, about, schedule, presenters, sponsors. So that's all at www.heart.com with an umlaut above the A. You can get that by going to cliftoncommunity.org, going to menu, clicking on community, and it lists all the shops, religious institutions, the schools in Clifton, and you go to World Peace Yoga, and you'll be able to get right to that. So let's go to some more social media here. How about NextDoor? It's always fun to check in. NextDoor, they're always asking me to put in an address. I hate this, but I hope I remembered my password. No, thank heavens. So the top post on Clifton NextDoor, Tom Steele, is Spring Grove Village is looking for a job. Does anybody know any jobs that are hiring for morning shifts? Rebecca Dorf of Northside needs someone to build a retaining wall and fence. Melissa Martinez from Northside is talking about burglar scouts. And then right at the top is my latest post of the YouTube video of live at Clifton Market. So you can go there, and whenever I post it, I put the timeline in so you can go directly to whatever feature you want to hear, whether it's the Chronicle archive or what's playing at the Esquire. So that's it. And then we have Kate Bridgman in Northside has a story about open house this Sunday from 12 to 1:30 in North Avondale. Let's see what that's about. Join the lovely Gloria O'Brien at 245 Wedgwood this Sunday from 12 to 1:30 for an open house. Price reduced, motivated seller. Oh, she's a realtor. Well, that's very smart. Right? Okay, and William Howard has come in with reasons I love Northside. You might know that Northside is also trying to start their own community grocery store, and we wish them all the help and all the good luck. I know that we've been able to deliver a wonderful grocery store to the Clifton community, and now it's the community's job to step up and embrace the store and make sure that our sales are 160,000 every week. It can easily be done if you put aside things and learn to adapt to what the market has. It's going to be a tough uphill battle, but with the community coming together in a new way. It's not the old hippie co-op. The store runs by itself, but it needs you to come and make the store what it is. That means coming in, shopping the grocery store, making sure that the sales stay up at 160,000 so that we can prove to our distributors and our lenders that we mean business as a community grocery store. There's no problem coming in here and putting on a wonderful spread of food for your family with what's here. Sometimes We don't have raisin bread. One older gentleman was very sad that he had to go somewhere else for his raisin bread, but I was hoping that he could buy some raisins and a loaf of bread, and he could make do with adapting. Brian Kane mentioned about the rainfall. Amazingly, yesterday we had 1.4 inches, and it certainly flooded my basement. I had to get a sump pump out. And, David Brin from Raphaelos, he's looking for a scanner. Somebody's. So that's NextDoor. I'm glad we were able to get right onto that. Let's see what's going on Twitter right now before we get to reading the Clifton Chronicle. There's a post by my daughter's roommate. I'm eliminating everything on my Twitter except Clifton News, so I can go right to the feed and we can see what's. I don't see anything that comes right up. A lot of ads. But so that's enough for. Let's just search and see what we can come up with the Clifton market. It's already in the queue. Well, this was posted a while back. We're looking forward to. Barb Heddle's got the new flyer coming out, so we'll look forward to reading that when it pops up. Let's go to Facebook and see Richard Luchek has posted a new still life of coffee cups, disposable coffee cups. Carol Brammer and David Little and 48 others like the Ludlow Garage presents John Lodge, bassist and vocalist of the world-renowned Moody Blues in Cincinnati on October 26th. So that's sponsored by Ludlow Garage, and I read it just because I like Dave and Claudia. Michelle Dillingham has a post. Brian Gary has a post. Michael Musto. So let's search out Clifton Market, and we'll see what Clifton Market has on Facebook. Back to School 2018. It's recommended by Claudia, Cassandra, and 79 others. People talk about the lemon dill sauce and the good grocery store and gourmet cookies. And it says, do you recommend Clifton Market? I'm going to click yes. And I have to make a comment. I'll just say everything I need. So it's uploading that. We'll just go. I love Clifton Market. It's a very clean store, nice people. I love the shop there. I never shop nowhere else. I highly recommend it for people. I love that comment. I'm the beer and wine manager. I know people are concerned about the entertainment I bring in, but I'm about the community. This is from Jimmy at the Wine and Beer. I'm the wine and beer manager. I know people are concerned about the entertainment I bring in, but I am about the community of all classes, races, and levels of life, and will continue to provide art, music, booze, and love to everyone of Cincinnati, no matter who you are. It's all about love. Cheers. Thank you, Jimmy, for that. As I said, we recently had a band play on the loading dock, and it's totally cool, and we're going to do lots more of this, but I did learn that I had to stand right there by, there's Gene from the Chimp Tent, and direct people so that they didn't pull in and then get waylaid because they couldn't turn around because the band was playing. So thank you very much for Jimmy. Jimmy, there's somebody else. Everything is good there. Let's see, occasionally they're going to have happy hour. Clifton Market says, welcome Bearcats. We wish you a successful school year. Hashtag UC Welcome 18. Clifton Market, top Sawyer Lane steak recipes. So that's that is Clifton Market on NextDoor. We went through Twitter. I can't log into Reddit, so I got to get that password so I can. Let's go back to the internet and see if I missed any other tabs. Let's got the garage. We mentioned who was playing there. I mentioned the Plaza music. We got the Mall Crow this Friday and the Marsh Brothers on Saturday. I need to find out when those events at the wine tasting is. I go to the website, but I don't see it there, so I need to. So that's about it for social media at the moment. We'll go back later and check on that. Right now, I'm going to go ahead and read from the Clifton Chronicle. It was in the mailboxes last week. So we're in just about finishing up our first hour. You can go online and read the full 31 pages of the Clifton Chronicle. We print. Hey, Dave. Hey, you want to come and be interviewed? We're live on YouTube right now. Okay, well, anyway, if you ever have you see me over here talking to myself, you can come by and say hello. Anyway, that's another university professor. Recently, he's in aerospace. He recently moved to, he was a professor at Oxford. Miami. Dave Mundy. All right, well, probably the big news is the post office has moved up to Ludlow Avenue. Veronica, our clerk there, was always surprised. People would come into the shop on Ormond and say, gee, I never knew there was a post office in Clifton. Well, now that it's moved up on Ludlow, she's ecstatic. The store has everything she wants, and she hopes that more people will patronize it. It's one of the few one-clerk post office left, and it's one of the busiest branches. So, and then there was a big thank you for the house tour. You can go to cliftoncommunity.org, go to the menu, go to news, and you can scroll down and see all the houses that were in the house tour, sort of like a mini booklet. CTM is studying the bylaws to improve them, and we're going to have a candidates night at the Clifton Town Meeting is sponsoring a candidates night. It's coming up in October. The CTM Board of Trustees, I'll read them off. Christine Seltzer is president. Patrick Borders is vice president 1. Joyce Rich is vice president 2. Buddy Goose is the treasurer. Kevin Marsh is the secretary. Adam Baltz, Peter Block, Ashley Fritz, Brad Haas, Rama Kasturi, Malcolm Montgomery, Zeth Maney, Gina Marsh, and Vince Metzger, and Eric Urbis, trustees, rounds out the group. We have a full group, and I can't thank you enough for volunteering. It says, CTM wants you interested in becoming more active Clifton resident. CTM trustees organize many neighborhood events and engage with the community in an effort to keep Clifton a great place to live, and publish the Clifton Chronicle. If you are interested in learning more about being a CTM trustee, please email contactctm@cliftoncommunity.org. Our next elections will be held at our December meeting, and the December meeting was probably going to be held at the Rec Center. It's a great time to go and vote for the candidates and also renew your membership. There's a wonderful story by Rama Kasturi about Burnet Woods. It's beautifully written. The United Methodist Church is honoring the first lesbian United Methodist bishop. Nice little story about her. J. Miles Wolfe has an exhibition at the Skirball Museum, part of the Hebrew Union College. It's Jewish Cincinnati, Photographic History by J. Miles Wolfe. There's a nice story about a guitar tutor in Clifton and Rivers Music. There's a nice ad here by Petey's Pet Shop. Clifton Market received a recognition by Uptown recently in their celebration as an innovative business. There's a nice story about the Preserve Burnet Woods organization, and the fun thing about it is that at every Sunday at 7 a.m. at the Trailside Nature Center, you can go on a nature walk with a professional. It's a wonderful service that Burnet Woods has put together. There's an opinion about Burnet Woods' ideal home for the CCAC. There was recently a meeting by the Parks Department trying to get information from the community about what they thought about putting the Art Center in Burnet Woods. So they had the CCAC give a presentation, Preserve Burnet Woods gave a presentation, and also an outward bound group that wants to establish a inner city parks engagement with youth in the inner city. So they all presented, and then they had breakout groups. So the Cincinnati Parks Department will gather the community information and then make a decision on whether or not the Art Center would be good to put into Burnet Woods. Also, if you go to cliftoncommunity.org, go to news, and scroll down, you'll see a comprehensive story about the Howe Street development. Howe Street development is 130 apartments being built on top of the merchant parking lot. There'll be 300 parking spaces, I believe. 150 will be dedicated for the community. And with the 130 apartments that Gaslight Properties projects, plus I think 5,000 square feet of commercial space, but one of the top lists from the community for the Howe Street development is that it have a contemporary Clifton Cultural Arts Center component. This was the #1 thing. So I hope that that comes to fruition. There's a story in here about the Cincinnati Clifton Music Club. It's been around since 1917. It was started at a time when women couldn't perform in public. So they've been honoring young musicians, and it's a great story. They have awards every year for various bow strings, voice, and I don't know what the other, but it's a great story on page 8 of the print edition. Clifton Fest is returning to Ludlow on October 5th and 6th. You can go to info@cliftonfest.com and volunteer. They're looking for volunteers right now. You want to be on air? Oh, come on. That's a famous artist came in. The fall classes and events and exhibits at the CCAC have changed, and now they're all over the city. So go to their website and find out how they've engaged all the churches and rec centers in the region to continue on the 70-plus programs that took place in the Clifton Cultural Arts Center when it was in Clifton School Building. Apple Fest from Emmanuel Presbyterian Church is continuing during Clifton Fest. If you just go right around Clifton, right around Ludlow, go south on Clifton, the wonderful activities for the children, and you can pick up your wonderful apple pie. The Little Sisters of the Poor are celebrating 150 years of caring for Cincinnati's elderly poor. In 1868, they arrived in Cincinnati from France. There's a wonderful story in there. And the Clifton area school, Cans, is having a Rawson Farmhouse ice cream social. It's Saturday, I'm going to say September 6th, but in the meantime, Drew Swetchino is the head of the PTO president, and every third Thursday at 7 p.m. at the Rawson Farmhouse next to Clifton School Building is the PTO meets, so you can get all the information you need. You can email cansadvisory@gmail.com or visit the website at canselementary.org. So Clifton area school is ramping up. They're going to go into the school in the 1920 school year. There's a great story about the Clifton Rec Center. They talk about the old summer programs, and then they list 4 amazing things you can do at the parks, including the planetarium. At the Trailside Nature Center, there's an antique astrolabe, and they have just a super program for children. You don't want to miss having that experience. The last page of the print edition is Chronicle Chats. Lucy Whedon and Ava Jane Meyer are interviewing a person every quarter, and this time they interviewed Jimmy McLaughlin. He is the FC player. So the FC is playing this Saturday at Nipper Stadium on Saturday. On the online edition, the front page shows Elisa putting the flowers in, and the flowers above the window. We recently had to redo them, and thanks to Maureen and Steve and Ben and Elisa, we got some beautiful flowers up there. And I straightened up the flags. Jimmy, beer and wine master, got those flags up there, and I straightened them out with my skills as a seaman. Eric Davis is a wonderful story about the Clifton Branch Library. The New School has a great story about the annual camping trip to Camp Ernest. Kim Fender is retired from the public school system. She was instrumental in getting the Boss Cox house turned into the library. It's hard to believe we had a small library across from the garage. Now we have a wonderful restored Hannaford home of Boss Cox. In the old library space is now going to be Gaslight Bar and Grill. So Claudia and Dave, Gaslight Properties owns that the old library space, and they're turning it into a rooftop garden and a bar and grill, and they're also running the Clifton Garage now. So the two menus are very similar, but they have interesting differences, and I'll get to reading those later. So talks more about the Clifton Area School and the Jewish Cincinnati, A Photographic History by J. Miles Wolff at the Skirball Museum and the Hebrew Union College. It mentions the award that Clifton Market got at Uptown. Consortium has a banquet every year honoring new businesses, and Clifton Market received an award. Here it says, "Welcome to our new Clifton Market board members." We recently had election at Clifton, at the Esquire, where we elected our new board members. And if you are a shareholder or a loaner, you can go to Google Groups and enter Clifton Market, and then if you can request to be have access to the Google Groups of Clifton Market. So on there you can learn everything. Hello. Hey, I'm going live here.
Oh,
You wanna?
Would you like to hear about more tomatoes being
Yeah,
delivered?
please sit down here, and you can.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
This is great. I'm looking for more and more.
Okay.
You can just introduce yourself, and
Okay.
I see you got your carts here.
I do, and you guys carry them, which is awesome.
Yes, I'm trying to get my wife to let me buy one. Why does everything have to go through her?
I know, that's the crazy thing about marriage. They have to have a part in everything. It's not
That's
fair.
the vision of power.
Yes, so what time are you going live then?
Well, right now, we're live
Oh,
right now
hi.
on YouTube Live.
Yes. So, I'm just delivering the Sun Sugar Cherry tomatoes in the new biodegradable box.
Oh, yeah.
So you can compost it. I designed it so you can take a quick peek inside and see like an egg carton, But then it's got all the elements that went into making the produce: the sun, and the flowers, and the rain, and the moon. I planted by the moon this year. The wind, and of course the earthworms. so yeah, and then you can recycle it or.
Well, I'm going to
compost
switch
it.
over and get these tomatoes all the
Have
time.
you had that before?
I haven't. We usually buy the Kamari.
Try that little one right there. I always put a few extra in there just so people can, sample it up on right there. Super
No,
sweet, huh?
I like this type.
Yeah, these are less acidic. I don't even like tomatoes. I don't like ketchup. I don't like spaghetti sauce. I don't like pizza sauce. I named my farm after these people. They're that good. They're that life-changing.
Wow.
Yeah, and then the other thing was that I brought in today is one bag of edible honey. Because, It's awesome, but it was a terrible, horrible season for edamame. So there's my edamame, the one bag that I'm bringing in. Hopefully, we might have a little bit more, but it's been a tough season. And so I carry it in my new. Oh, I got to show you. I brought this for a friend. So this is a salad that you can make with both the edamame and the cherry tomatoes, where you can cook the edamame and then add the tomatoes and get like the olive stuff, you know, that comes with feta cheese and olive oil and garlic.
Wow.
It's a really great little. I brought it for a friend, so
Wow.
yeah, it's really awesome. But that's on my website too, Sun Sugar Farms.
Sun Sugar Farms.
And then the information is on the back of the tomatoes. So, and we got a few more weeks of produce before it all goes goodbye. And then the other cool thing that I love about Clifton Market is you guys carry my crates. And, you know, they come with the thermals, and they're just, you stack things and, you know, keep them from rolling around. And I just love you guys. You guys are one of my favorite stores. I love what you're doing here, and hope you succeed wildly. And, you know.
Well, I went live since our last board meeting to try to get the word out on social media. We sort of had a campaign. We wanted to reach out with a phone calling, but I realized that going live, pushing it on social media, everybody can go right to whatever they want to hear. I have a little timeline, so we'll have Lucy and Sun Sugar Farms. They can go right in and skip all my other stuff. Go right
to the tomato heart of the matter.
Yes.
I know. I probably should have brought more now. But,
Well, thank you very much, Linda.
Yeah, so I'll go ahead and deliver these now. Thank you for watching, and thank you for supporting Clifton Market. Good job with what you're doing. Take care.
That I like a nice interview. Thank you, Linda. Yeah, she was here pushing her cart, her carrying device, but I didn't know about the farm. Gee, I'm going to have to transfer over to getting my tomatoes from her. I was going to talk about the new Clifton Market board members. So we had a meeting at the Esquire, and if you go to Google Groups, search Clifton Market, and you're a shareholder, you can request to become a member of this group. It's a private group, but there you'll be able to see the slides that were presented at the meeting. Also, I have an audio of a board meeting, the one that we just had. So just everything about Clifton Market, but mostly it's off the grid. So see ya. Oh, thank you. So the new elected officials were Bruce Ault, Tom Dwyer, Carol Friel, Paul Karamaris, Gannett Singh, Ed Stinick, and these folks joined Gary Crawford, Alex Durst, Larry McDowell, Sean McChance, and Irma Harkemeyer on the Clifton Market Board. Thanks to all the candidates who stepped up to run. Never before have we had such a talented and committed slate of candidates. And if your name is not in the list above, we hope that you can find other ways to work for the market on a committee or advisory board. As was plain at the board meeting, the market has some tough challenges ahead. And here in the online Clifton Chronicle is the link to the PDF presentation. I mean the PowerPoint presentation. So it's very sobering, but it's nice to see that it was posted on the online Clifton Chronicle. I made sure that link was active. More story about caring for Cincinnati elderly by the Little Sisters of the Poor. DePaul Cristo Rey is a school down on Central Parkway that helps inner city youth get to college. They have a great program, and they're expanding. Cincinnati State is starting a community early childhood education program, and they received some money for that. The Seventh-day Adventist Church blessed the men and women in blue. Thank you, Seventh-day Adventist Church. They had a wonderful heart health program that anybody that signed up was able to improve their health, and it was aside from religion, so there was no religious component to that. Later, in the issue, there's some wonderful photos by Rama Kasturi of Burnet Woods. There's a story about Stephen King's thriller Misery coming to the Playhouse in the Park. And yesterday I read a story of Soup, local franchise soup company that was doing some community outreach. It's a wonderful story. There's some more photos by Rama Kasturi of the Memorial Day Parade. So you can go through there and find pictures of your family. The Cincinnati Art Museum is revisioning its art and architecture of the Near East with a $500,000 grant. And yesterday I read a story about conceptual art and life, Gillian Waring. Interesting, very interesting story. So we go straight to the calendar in the Clifton online Chronicle. We have a calendar that lists the whole year, and mostly gives major events like when CTM is meeting, when the Lantern Walk will be, when Halloween is, when Ramadan ends, when so forth and so on. And then there's a section of various contact information, whether you want to learn about Clifton Plaza, or where to report crimes, or the Mobo Bicycle Cooperative, or you want to get in touch with Clifton Fest. It mentions the child study group. The moms have been meeting in Clifton since 1938. Clifton Child Study Group has been bringing Clifton area mothers together to socialize and discuss ideas since the 1930s. Meetings are at 7 p.m. the second Tuesday of the month, September to May. New members are always welcome. You can contact them at cliftonmoms@gmail.com. So, and then the golf outing raised $10,000 for the Clifton Community Fund, and the Clifton Community Fund is interested in beautification and preservation and cultural enhancement of the Clifton community. And then on the back page of the online Chronicle is an aerial map of the main drag, and around it is all the phone numbers of all the shops. So I'll have to update that. We've got a new tobacco shop, Wonderland, across the street. And so we got finished with the online Chronicle. Let's go to CityBeat and see what's playing in the music in the back listings. I'm glad that they still have music listings. They used to have art listings, but now it's all fragmented. That's really why we started to doing more social media to market, because you just can't mess with the way things are going on the internet, fast and furious, and people get their news from videos. That's why we're using video. So Thursday, August 30th, let's see if there's anything nearby in Clifton, music-wise. Washington Park has a 7 p.m. tonight, Roots Revival with Ben Knight and the Well Diggers. That's probably the closest thing. Northside Yacht Club has Freak Heat Waves, Christian North, Smut, and Amazon at 9 p.m., post-punk indie rock. The Greenwich has Randy Villar's Quartet at 8:30, jazz, $5. On Fountain Square, we have Salsa on the Square with the Amador Sisters at 7 p.m. And at Bogart's, the Dead Daisies with Dizzy Reed at 9 p.m., rock, $17. And Cafe Viviance is George Cunningham and Joe Lukasik. I got to find out where Cafe Viviance is. George Cunningham is a member of the Faux Frenchmen, so you can be sure that it's going to be fantastic. So those are the music listings from CityBeat. And let's I guess I could go to the flyers. Probably the most exciting thing about the flyers this issue was the latest BearCash.com has come out, and on page 2 in the upper left is student college discount, 10% off from Clifton Market. So valid with coupon and any student or college ID. No cash value, not to combine with any other offers, valid through October 15th, 2018. So this is a great coupon, no question about it. 10% off with a college ID at Clifton Market. Thank you, Keith and Tom, for setting that up. We really appreciate that. It gives an opportunity to students to come here and see what the great community market is, and if they feel shop here, you can always take the bus from UC. It stops right across the street, and also you can use the shuttle, the private car service, to shop here at Clifton. We make a point of giving gift cards to college students that we know to get them to come down to Clifton Market and support the community. So we already talked about the buffet. Oh, did I mention there's 40% off at Maya, at Ace Hardware? We have mason jars on sale, small and large. Probably the biggest thing is buy two, get one free furnace filters. Let's see. Somebody made some mention there. I forgot. Gee, it's too bad I can't call that up. I didn't get a chance to see it. Somebody's posted on YouTube. Let's see if I can go to YouTube on my other cell phone and see if I can see what the comment was. That's the great thing about having multiple computers. So we're going to go to my channel. We've got Thursday, October. We have one person watching. Oh, it says, it's from C. Duvall. Hi, Tom. Thank you for the nice words on preserved Burnet Woods this week from the Chronicle article. Quick note that Burnet Woods bird walks are starting at 8 a.m. in September this Sunday. So I'm so glad that you pointed that out. I'll change my thing. So we're looking forward to meeting up. Fine, Christy. At 8 a.m. in September this Sunday at the Trailside Nature Center. The Preserve Burnet Woods has started a walk, and I think maybe 12 people show up sometime, maybe more, and they have an expert to teach you about what you're listening to and where the birds are. So it's great to go with an expert. And C. Duvall has also chimed in. Preserve Burnet Woods is also hosting a plant and botany walk this Sunday at 3:30 p.m. by Dr. Dennis Conover from UC. Dr. Conover has an amazing knowledge of plants in Burnet, and we're looking forward to it. So there you go. That you can't beat that. 3:30 p.m. this Sunday. They're going to meet in front of the Trailside Nature Center, and Dr. Dennis Conover from UC will be leading the plant and botany walk this Sunday at 3:30. Thank you very much, C. Duvall, for that. I believe she gave the presentation at the meeting that the Parks Department had at the Coreyville Rec Center about Burnet Woods. So going back to the ACE flyer, they have a 2.5 gallons mini wet vac for $19.99. Let's go to the CVS flyer. Lots of back to school sales, and CoverGirl makeup, shampoo is on sale. I got 50% off a folding lawn chair with a cooler. Coolers these days all have wheels, so it's a large cooler on sale with the wheels. Back to school. Burt's Bees makeup. Hair color. Olay products. More hair color. Shaving. Ladies shaving tools. The vitamins. It's all about buy one, get 50% off the next. That's the lead thing on this CVS flyer this time. Buy one, get the second one for 50% off. And lots of back to school things, plus medicine for cold, and you can get your flu shot there too. So I think we're coming near the end. We got 10 minutes left in our broadcast today, and I'm going to start reading from the archives of the Clifton Chronicle. I'm reading from the summer issue of 2005. The lead article is Ludlow Revitalization Charterette, a report by Pearl Staniloff and Lunan Narkar. On Saturday, April 9th in 2005, over 30 Clifton residents gathered in the United Methodist Church to discuss the revitalization of Clifton Neighborhood's business district. 4 teams engaged in a 1-hour brainstorming session to identify, prioritize, and lay out potential solutions for the new Ludlow revitalization plan. Issues that consistently appear on each of the lists of the team was preserving the character and identity of Clifton as a unique and diverse community, enhancing public space and identify a community gathering space, improving sidewalks and streets furniture, signage, and trees, addressing traffic and parking concerns, and promoting economic vitality of neighborhood businesses. The design ideas include clearly defining the business district by using a distinct surface treatment for sidewalks and crosswalks, emphasizing the entry points to Ludlow, a colorful palette to unify elements such as building facades, street furniture and utilities, and the introduction of a common element that is repeated throughout the entire district. Eliminating the visual clutter of overhead wires and signage was discussed. Some participants felt that it was important to preserve older trees while achieving greater variety through the introduction of native species. To make Ludlow more pedestrian-friendly, wider sidewalks with better services, minimizing the clutter of trash cans and newspaper boxes. Randomly placed benches, flower urns, and trees surrounds the construction of well-defined crosswalks, better bus stop locations, and streetscape furniture were all suggested. A centralized community gathering spot closer to Telford and Ludlow intersections is favored. Residents felt that this should be promoted as an artist's place, allowing live music performance and works of art. Outdoor dining places and covered, semi-covered parking public areas are also needed. Concerns regarding the safety of the public space were expressed as well. The need to improve traffic and parking facilities along Ludlow and the demand for additional parking could be met by reorganizing existing parking patterns, consolidating segregated parking lots, and restricting them in specific zones to make the rest of the area pedestrian. A recent commercial development on Calhoun Street is an emerging competitive business district and one that could have a negative economic impact on Ludlow. The Ludlow revitalization plan should provide strong measures to support the existing businesses and encourage new businesses to move in. A good retail mix was seen as the key feature to continual vitality of the neighborhood business district of Clifton. The Ludlow revitalization plan is a timely and needed initiative with broad community support. The ideas shared during the meeting will provide critical guidance in the development of the new plan. The Ludlow Revitalization Task Force would like to thank all participants for their most valuable input and encourage all Clifton residents to take part in future discussions. So this was before we had the plaza and before the sidewalks in Clifton were rebuilt. So all the sidewalks have a common theme and a common finish, and then it moved over into the making of the Clifton Plaza. So I think it's clear now that we have a grocery store, that we have our anchor store in Clifton, and there's no question that this is the gathering place for the community, so that we have a wonderful space here in the cafe. You can have your meeting here, and we encourage everyone to patronize the market so we can bring our sales up to 160,000 and show the lenders and our distributors that we mean business and that we can be a community-owned grocery store. So going on to the rest of the front page of the 2005 summer issue. It says, don't mark your calendars for summer sounds on the Burnet Woods Bandstand, Plaza Jazz at Diggs Plaza, calling all Clifton artists for streetscapes, and Canvas Clifton. There's a story about Eddie Horgan, Stacy Woolley, Steve Slack, Emily Costco, Melanie Delgado. There's some letters to the issue, letters to the Chronicle. There was a reaction to a piece of fiction. Gaslight Property has a nice ad. Pages and Prints Framing Gallery, you might remember, was I think in the space where Clifton Gourmet Cookies is now. Pages and Prints. I was always sorry I didn't take over that space. Could have had a little frame shop and a gallery there. Now, if I've been able to get grandfathered in there. There's a give and take, part of CTM's mission to explore differing viewpoints. There's 2 long articles about getting CTM back on track. This is back in the time when there was a limited number of people coming forward to run for offices, something that we've been able to. We're very happy that now we have more candidates running for office than are needed. So this is great. Also, we had the same result here in Clifton Market. There were more members, more people running for offices than we had space for them. So that's great to see that happening. We have CTM News and Views by Betsy Black. Mentioned Steve Slack and the Parks and Beautification Community. There's a letter to the editor about the story in the last issue about Roanoke Revisited. On the Avenues by Dora Shield. She talks of retiring and relocating is the joy of discovering one's new neighborhood. So that's what happens here in Clifton. You retire and then you downsize and you end up moving into an apartment after you had a large home here in Clifton. There's a nice picture of Tom Unger, the old owner of Skyline. He may still own it. Anyway, I haven't seen Tom in a while. There's a great ad by Ora Farouz, and then there's an ad about the Sidewinder Coffee, and it's over in Northside. And there's a story by Steve Slack about the trees of Clifton. There's an ad from the Calvary Episcopal Church. There's a story, Clifton Underground by Phil Nuxall. That's a story that highlights Spring Grove Village. Well, we're coming down to the last few minutes of the show here. I'm going to wind up skipping ahead here, see if I can find Clifton Meadows and the Big 5-0. 2005 marks the 50th anniversary of Clifton Meadows Swim Club. And then we have down by the old Mill Creek. This article teaches at Parsons School of Design in New York and has taken great interest in Cincinnati's Mill Creek. There's the Portrait Corner, edited by Joy Hoff. Eric Davis has a wonderful story back from, there's You Gotta Have Art by E.P. Harris. There's a great story about Richard Lutek's designs. Shows a beautiful picture of his wife, and then Brenda Foltz has this article about the small-time gardener, and this is a story about moving Fairview German Language School to Clifton. There's a Rec Center News, Cheers by Mindy Stouffer, Confessions of a Dog Walker by Fran Goldman. There's a photo exhibit by Lily Shapiro, and there's you might remember Terry Hawker had a shop. I think it was probably where the new post office is, and she sold fashion and jewelry. So there's the We had a poetry contest for kids. Invasive Plants in Clifton by Emily Costco and Rainey Graham. On the back page is a compilation of photos by Lily Fink Shapiro. So we're just about at the end of our broadcast, so I'm going to sign off for now. We love to broadcast here live from Clifton Market, all news Clifton. I'm here every day as possible, so look forward to tuning in every day to see if I'm live online. You can always watch old episodes on YouTube. Thanks a lot, and goodbye. I'm live at Clifton.